everyone, Kayla here. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I posted on here, so I'm sorry about that, but I was off getting married. So me and the Manpanion are finally married. We went to Maui, Hawaii, and then after we got married on the beach, we were already there, so we had our honeymoon there. So I've been gone for quite some time, and then getting back into the groove of things once coming back. It was so beautiful and so magical, and yeah, but I'm happy to be back now. And for this video, I wanted to kind of show you some mindset changes around food. And here's a video that I filmed before I left, and I'll just run it now. I just wanted to do this intro to kind of let you know where I've been and what's been going on and the exciting news, but this is what this video is going to be about. Okay, so I'm going to roll that video now. I want to do a what I eat in a day video, and I know I've talked about how I don't really like these typically, but there's a reason why I want to do this. So I was just thinking about how in my recovery at one point, you know what really helped me is to be around people that were just normal eaters. So I was able to reconnect with people at a certain point in my recovery, because at first I was just too in my own, like trying to heal and think about food all the time. But at one point, then I started to get out and reconnect with an old friend. She was a normal eater, and it was so good to be around, because a lot of my family is, you know, always talking about dieting and always talking about how they need to lose weight, vanity, blah, blah, blah. So that was really good to be around, because it showed me what normal eating, just being a normal eater, is like. So it helped me to face those last fear foods, challenge myself with eating, and eat those foods that I was really craving, but I wasn't allowing myself to eat. I wasn't letting go of those last restrictions because I was still fearful, caught up with the clean eating mindsets of, oh, those foods were too bad and toxic, and they were just gonna, you know, they weren't good, they weren't whole foods, they were processed, blah, blah, blah. But I still wanted those foods. I just wasn't allowing myself to have it. And a normal eater doesn't do that. They eat what they want. They eat what makes them feel good. They also eat whatever they want, without question, without guilt, without fear, without going back on it, without talking about how guilty they feel about eating this food because it's too fatty or sugary, or how it's gonna make them fat and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, they just eat it. They move on with their life. And that's what the goal is of recovery, right? So let's say that you too don't have that luxury. You don't have anyone around you that is just a normal eater, or perhaps you're surrounded by people who you love and who love you, but they're always engaging in diet talk, always shaming their body, always talking about calories and sugar and keto and over-exercising and HIIT workouts and CrossFit. So I don't want you to be deprived of this experience, because it can be so valuable. And this is what I was thinking about today. So maybe that's the goal of this. If I could do that for you, and I could show you what a normal eater looks like, which, FYI, just a note, normal eaters don't literally just track their food, calculate their food, film their food, and all that stuff. But for the sake of the purpose of this video, this is what I want to do. So I hope that it helps you in that way. I don't want you to miss out on that experience. It could be super valuable, or at least it was for me. So if I could help someone, one of you out there, I hope that this will help you. So come with me today and see what I'm gonna eat. And specifically, I wanted to eat today the foods that I so desperately craved and wanted and was so excited about in my recovery, and was able to eat. And I was able to do this with the help of my friend who was a normal eater, and she helped me to just show me, like, oh wow, she's eating normally and not putting too much thought and analysis and intellectualizing the food and eating. So it really, really helped me to let go of those last fears, to have someone, like, almost gave me permission that it was okay to do it. So anyways, oh, and I don't want you to compare. Like, I want you to eat what you really want to eat. The sole purpose of this is to show you that it's okay to eat those foods that you're really craving, but you're not allowing yourself to have yet. They're actually going to be really beneficial for you, and it's actually going to be the healthiest thing that you can do for yourself if you're worried about not being healthy. This is actually the healthiest thing that you could do. release that stress that is so toxic for you, and give in to those cravings, and you're gonna recover from that. I just wanted to say really quick, like, I want to give a comparison with what I'm consuming now versus what I would have consumed in my recovery. And obviously this isn't everything and all the details that I could go into, but briefly I just want to explain to you how it's kind of changed in a sense. So even with coffee and creamer in the morning, now you see me drinking this size of coffee and creamer, and I still put a lot of creamer in my coffee, but in recovery, when my body was coming from a completely energy deprived, depleted, prolonged energy deficit for so long, I was craving a lot of sugar. And so even from the creamer source and coffee, I was drinking, let's see, I can't find a mason jar right now. That's so weird. I would drink, though, a whole mason jar full of coffee with creamer. So if you could imagine like a 32-ounce mason jar filled with a full French press of coffee and then a ton of creamer, okay? And I just could not get satisfied with sugar and carbohydrates and fats, especially too, and proteins. Now, I also want to note with the bagel that in my recovery, I couldn't just eat a bagel and cream cheese, especially with all these veggies in recovery. I wanted just the bagel, just the cream cheese, and I probably wanted 3 to 5 bagels. And I would go into the bagel shop or cafe, order the bagels with cream cheese only. Like, I was not craving veggies. I had had veggies and fruits and whole foods for years and years. My body was like, no, we're good on that. We need calorically dense, easily digestible foods. And once we're ready, we'll start craving those again. But for now, like, those are just kind of taking up space. You know what I mean? So I didn't crave like the cucumbers and the lettuce and the, veggies and all of that kind of stuff, or even fruits for a while. Even coming from fruitarianism and raw vegan and clean eating, bodybuilding type diets. Yeah, I'd go into the shop, I'd come out in my car, stuff my face as if I was orgasming in my mouth, eating those foods. Like, it was so good, so heavenly. And it would be like I was inhaling oxygen after holding my breath for a long time, just like gasping for air, but gasping for energy, and binging and just like consuming the bagels so quickly. Then I'd go into the store because I was still hungry. I was, feeling stuffed even, and I would still be wanting. And I'd go in and buy like a big thing of almond butter or peanut butter and just spoon it out of the jar. In my car still, mind you. I'd still be wanting, and maybe I'd go home and have like half of a loaf of bread with butter and, jam, or more peanut butter and almond butter, and just have piece after piece of bread, just like feeling like I was in food heaven, because I was just so infatuated with food, just so preoccupied and hyper focused on food. It was just like a crazy experience to eat all of my favorite foods again. So even with that, I would still be wanting more food, and I would have maybe another bowl of oatmeal, another bowl of cereal and milk, and I would eat until I was literally physically stuffed, so bloated, feeling like I was 9 months pregnant, that kind of bloat. Just so uncomfortable and in pain, and I just needed to go lay down. And then, for lunch, that could have come an hour after that, or it could have come like hours later. And then I would eat again. So right now I'm going to make some sandwiches because I'm not working from home today. I'm gonna be working at the shop with the Manpanion. Yes, we're having sandwiches right now and maybe some chips on the side, but in recovery, it was not like this. Like, I could have sandwiches on sandwiches on sandwiches and whole bags, big bags of chips, big boxes of cookies, a dozen donuts, 10 rolls of sushi, another jar of peanut butter, just spooning it out of the jar. Just my days were consumed with food. All I could think about was food. And I felt like a slob, and I felt like a sloth, and I felt like a glutton, and I felt like I was just going insane, and I felt like something was wrong with me. I felt like I was just addicted to food, and I had binge eating disorder. I didn't know what was going on initially. All I could think about was food, and biology was winning, and I, just let it be though. And now I could go in between my meals and I'm not thinking about food. I only start thinking about food once I'm hungry again, and that could be around breakfast, around lunch, around dinner. But it's not that intense, like all-consuming, like something's taking over me type hunger. The extreme hunger, mental and physical hunger, no, it's just like I eat. It's good. It's not orgasmic, but it is good. I only eat the foods that I want to eat. I don't force myself to eat foods that I think I should be eating, like all these superfoods and expensive supplements and whatever. And then I move on, and then I'm able to use all that energy that I consumed and put it towards things in my life that really are fulfilling, like my work, helping others, my client calls, making these videos for YouTube, editing the videos, working on the website. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going down to his shop. And then also like just everything else that's meaningful in life, right? Like spending time together, being able to be present without food consuming my freaking mind the whole time. Just thinking about eating his plate and then my family's plate and then the people across the restaurant's plate, thinking how could they just like stop eating and leave that food on their plate? Like, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with me? Like, no, like I'm just, it's not that anymore. So I'm going on a tangent again. I'm gonna make these sandwiches and then I'm gonna head down to the shop and then we'll see what we're gonna do for dinner. Okay, so I just wanted to read this comment that I just got really quick because I think that it might help you. Okay, again, not just to hear it from me, but to hear it from other people achieving recovery as well. Okay, so this was from Catherine. She was saying, I eat processed foods every day now, including muffins, banana breads, hot cross buns, pasta, white rice, and I feel better than ever. So much better than during my restrictive dieting days. This is how I eat when I don't restrict in any way. Seriously, when you eat what you want to eat and repeatedly just chill and enjoy your food without guilt, things get better. In my recovery, I overshot because I kept trying to eat clean, which literally led to binging and prolonging starvation mode because my body sensed it was being restricted, which of course led to a rebound effect. When you stop controlling your cravings and literally surrender to them, food stops controlling you. Give recovery a full chance and you'll thank yourself down the line. Yes, I love hearing that. That was my experience. That's my clients' experiences. And that is going to be your experience too. If you just commit, be patient, and embrace the recovery process and listen to your body. And then you'll find your own balance. Okay? So damn the diets and get your life back.